Hey guys, Church on Midget here. So I got another Crytek to do a video on. This is not a V12. This is a Polar Star F1. So I normally don't do Polar Star F1s, Polar Star Jacks, just not as popular. In general, they don't perform as well. They're not as consistent as the closed bolt systems like Fusion engines, V12s, and F2s. At least in my experience, and I've installed a lot of engines. And a lot of people would agree with me that the closed bolt systems are just superior. But this guy's local. I actually sold this F1 to him personally. This is what I had in my Bison. I don't even think I made a video on that. I completely ditched the idea of having that. So I sold the F1. I had an M4 nozzle for it, so I sold him the M4 nozzle and the M4 trigger board, and it went straight into here. Now he actually installed it improperly. It was actually pretty funny. So the cylinder portion, if you guys installed an HPA system or have even opened an AEG, you'll understand. There's these little notches on either side of the gearbox shell where the cylinder head actually locks into place. So he had these little notches on the cylinder itself for the engine that lock into place. He had that all the way back here. So literally the nozzle wouldn't even protrude into the hop-up at all. It's pretty funny. So in other words, it would have been completely inoperable. It never would have shot properly, ever, no matter what you would have done until you actually installed it properly. So no roasted on him, but it was installed wrong. But I just installed it properly and tuned some settings and stuff, and actually shoots pretty good. Again, it doesn't shoot as good as like some of the F2s and Fusion engines and V12s that I put together, but it's decent, and it's his first HPA gun, so it's a good start. So let's start from the back, go to the front. We've got a MOE CTR stock on here. It says MOE, so I think that's like the Airsoft or something. I don't know. They do different licensing. It's got the FCU in there, metal buffer tube, ambi sling mount. It has the Warsport upper receiver, so it's gray, and the Mark II black lower receiver. I'm not sure the story on this, if this is how he bought it, or if he had a lower laying around or something and found a complete LVOA upper for sale. I don't know. I don't know the story behind it, but it does have the Warsport LVOA upper in gray, and then the Mark II lower, Defiance pistol grip, ambi selector switch, the LVOA rail. It's gray, as you can see. There's also a hand stop on the front. It's a CNC aluminum. I'm not sure what company makes it. Maybe Retro Arms. I don't think it's a Speed brand one. It might be Strike Industries for like real firearms. I'm not 100% sure whether or not it's made for airsoft or for a real gun. It's nice regardless. It's anodized aluminum. The suppressor on here is actually not his, so he gave this gun to me with no sights and no anything on the front. So I put this on here. This was a customer's. I just finished his V12. You'll probably see a video on that before this gun, probably. But I just basically pirated his suppressor just for this video. I don't know what he plans on using on this gun. I'd probably suggest one of these suppressors with some foam in it would be cool. But also, like, if you got a K-Tech, that'd be also pretty cool. So yeah, pretty basic. I would put an optic on here as well. Something, you can get some cheap optics to toss on here, but it would look better with something. I don't see it in my messages from him. I must have deleted the first couple messages from him. But it's one of those, like, it's not an Umbrella Armory. It's one of the ones that a guy sells on Hop Up. He just sells pre-R-hopped barrels. I think it's a ZCI pre-R-hopped, or it might be a Prometheus. I don't know. I have no idea. But anyways, he bought a pre-R-hopped barrel for like over $100 on this guy that sells them on Hop Up. I don't know why anybody spends that sort of money on a barrel and an R-hop setup, because that is ridiculous. I flat hop, I S-hop all my guns and get just as good a range, if not better, than, you know, this R-hopped barrel that he spent over $100 on. In airsoft, you have to tune everything for your specific gun and BBs and all that sort of stuff. So this, I hate the idea of dropping barrels because it's not going to work in every gun the same. I just hate that idea. Your gun needs tuned for your system, so if you spend $100 on a barrel that's pre-R-hopped, you're not always going to get a good performing gun out of it. So I just don't like that idea, but that's what he has in here, and it shoots decent. Again, it is the open bolt system, so it's not quite as consistent. Part of the engine, it is the stock F1. There is a speed trigger in black that has been used as a screw to be short, and as you can see, it's really, really short. The valve here is also pretty short, so it's kind of hard to connect it. So maybe, I think it's too short to do a grip connect though. I think it's been cut too short. So he might just have to deal with this. But yeah, the engine's totally stock. There's really nothing you can change on the F1. We're running 90 PSI, shoots about 1.6 joules with 0.3s. That's where we're going to run it. That's about 390 with the 0.2, so a little bit under 400 limit. Some fields chrono in joules, some don't. The field that we play at Splatter Park, they just chrono in 0.2s. Like, you just walk up there, grab their mag, they have a mag of 0.2s, and if you're under 400, you're under 400. I kind of like that idea because you can carry more energy with the HPA at distance. I really do like that idea, but if somebody wants to shoot high rate of fire, that's when, you know, they run like under 1.3 joules or something like that, you know, like 350. All right, so I had the GMP mid-cap here. Let's go ahead and test this thing out first. Semi seems fine. Let's give it a try on full auto. The mid-caps do feed great. Let's go ahead and try this high cap here. .45. That's what I run my highest rate of fire HPA at is 45, and I just shoot 350 with 0.2s with that. And at that, it works perfect. So, decently consistent. I mean, granted, this is only maybe a little over 100 feet, and I'm able to hit the tree every time, but at range, it's not the best, but I think he's going to be really happy with it.